Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame. And before I get into the recap review, I gotta go ahead and let y'all know because I know somebody gonna ask. People be asking me things. So y'all already know I'm always doing some kind of black owned business's product, the usage of it. And in my hair, it is Nouvelle Nouveau's Stay Laid Braid Gel combined with Nouvelle Nouveau's Curl Defining Extra Hold Foam. These two, and this has been shaken, not stirred. And that is what is going on. I laid all of that down and I combined the two products when I got my curls. When I tell y'all, I get so many compliments on my hair with all these black owned businesses, products that I use, y'all don't be understanding. But anyway, I just had to go ahead and get that out the way. So go ahead and pick some of that up. Nouvelle Nouveau and all that stuff, all on social media platforms. And the website, I think, is nouvellenouveau.com. If not, definitely go to the way that it's spelled right here, Nouvelle Nouveau on Instagram. And then her link is in her bio. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into this recap review of Sistas, because I'm gonna be going backwards. A lot of y'all know I've been going through some stuff, and I haven't been uploading like I should be. I actually have some stuff I need to upload, and it's a lot of stuff. So depending on how I'm feeling, y'all gonna be seeing a lot of me today. It was supposed to start yesterday, but yesterday my soul said no, because apparently it already knew all of these shootings, these continuous shootings were going to be happening, and I just cannot. So I went to sleep and wasn't even sleepy. All right, y'all. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into this recap review. So the episode started off where it left off last time, with Fatima rolling up to Hayden's house, trying to figure out what it was hidden for, because her man has got locked up yet again. And so she done towed the car down. We already saw that. So she done went on the inside because they trying to figure out what's going on. And they, being Gary, who's there, and Hayden. So she go on the inside. Of course, she want to know what is this duo about, and why are you rolling up trying to talk to me? Because Gary trying to butt in, and she was like, "Ain't nobody talking to you, and who are you? Like, I can't." So he over here trying to roll up and talk and regulate. And she is tearing stuff up. Tell me why when she got to the TV. He was like, "Not my TV." I said, "Not the baby TV, sir. I can't." Now, I'm not trying to judge anybody who has a small TV, because that is deemed to be a small, on the level of a small TV. You can get that for 50 to 150 at the most dollars, even if it's supposed to be high end on a good day in any year. I'm just saying, like probably Black Friday, you'll probably be able to get that for a good little price, a good, nice, cheap price. I'm just saying. But for you to be as flashy as you are, you're a lawyer, you're all these things, you're not a minimalist. You're not. You have all this high-end stuff in your house that Fatima then went through and has created this demolition site. This is a whole demolition site for her. She'd have tore it down with the bat at this point. And you got this baby TV. Y'all, I was done. I was like, "Hey, not the baby TV." And of course, she went in and let have on the TV and tore it down. And she's asking questions, wanting to know, what have you done this time? And has asked him yet again, "Do you want to die?" Because she done told him in the past, like, leave my man alone or you're going to die. Like, and I mean, I feel like he does not understand that everything that she has said to him has very much so been literal. For some reason, he don't understand that everything she has said, she means that. She is a G. Like, I play about being a G. It's funny to everybody when I say I'm a G. Y'all know I'm a thug. Y'all know I'm a G. Y'all know I'm a uppercase G, because people love to tell me, "Oh, yeah, you're a G, all right, a lowercase G." Whatever. Forget y'all. I said what I said. Don't let her have to come out, because she's had to peek her head out every now and again, look around like, who said what? Oh, okay, that's what I thought. Let me go back in here. Let her stay hibernating. I'm just saying, like, just saying. But anyway, like, she keeps setting it off on Hayden and told him, what is going on and what did you do to Zach? He keeps telling her over and over again, he ain't do nothing. She tearing stuff up. This heifer, wait a minute. You know what? I knew I was wrong, but I don't care. This is a television show. We're going to have to remember that this is a television show, but I was dying. I knew I was wrong, because in real life, I would have been like, "Oh no. oh no, ma'am. Oh, this heifer took a vase." she took a pot vase, whatever it was, that his father's ashes were in, and proceeded to throw it and break it as if it was nothing, because this man's whole her off rip. That's my father's ashes. She looked at him, held that vase, and just slung it to the side like, I don't understand why did you think that was gonna save it from being broken and destroyed? Do I care that that's your father's ashes? That was the whole attitude. Just the throw itself gave me. I died laughing, y'all. I can't. I was like, oh no. So that was the last straw for him. And of course, throughout this whole ordeal, she's trying to figure out how the two of these raggedy people know one another. And so Hayden gonna tell her how we know each other. He gonna say, well, he handled a couple of old cases back in the day for me, and we remained friends. Yeah. Her spidey senses be tingling at 99.9999999% of the time is right. And this was like the one instance that she was wrong. As far as the reason why her man is or was in jail. But yeah, then went off and she just set it off, and I was just like, ma'am, like she is insistent on, you need to tell me what happened. What did you do? All of this. And like I said, that was the last straw for him. And he is about to call the police on her. And Gary is even trying to talk her off the ledge. She eventually gets a phone call, and it's Zach, and she realizes that Hayden had nothing to do with it. When she get off the phone, she was like, yeah, there seems to have been a mix-up. And yeah. And at this point, she was like, I know you're going to do something in the future. So this is what is going to be, constituting as the payback for that. Because y'all know he stayed trying her. But I ain't going to lie, after this last time, he probably wasn't going to mess with her no more. Or he was going to be dumb enough to let a decent amount enough of time go by just to think that, oh, now I can try her again because I want her. Boy, bye. So Gary calls Andy and tells her what has happened. So then, of course, all while he's in the midst of this, he want to know what she got going on and can he come back over there? And she was like, no, I have company. And he was like, oh, really? 2 dates, 2 dinners in one night? Still trying to act like he's all calm, cool, and collected. Y'all know how crazy he is. And he really trying to show her that he ain't, on that no more. And she was like, no, drinks. You remember Paris, right? And so he was like, And so he is, I guess, suspecting that she's just making this up to trigger him, to see if it will trigger him, to see if he's changed. And so he was like, well, how about tomorrow? Can we have something to eat together tomorrow, lunch, dinner, or whatever? And so she was like, sure. So then, of course, she gets off the phone and she calls Fatima, want to know what's going on. And she was just like, look, I did some things, and yeah, he in jail. I don't know what's going on. I thought he was still messing with my man. I ain't got time. And so she was just like, look, I gotta go. I start hearing, I'm hearing sirens. Like the sirens was going off in the background. I was like, no, no. So then we see Sabrina out here with the man, with that man. What is he, from Africa or somewhere, child? The man who, has his bank account and things at various branches of the bank that she works for. So they out dancing and all of this, and they both a little tipsy, and she tripped, and then he kissed her, and so she was like, okay, you're a little drunk, and he was like, you are too, and they need to get to going home. And so she took a little moment to think about it, because he was like, well, we can get out of here and go somewhere where we can, be alone or whatever. And, how about my place? She was like, no, because, them panties was probably finna be pulled to the side. Thighs and butt cheeks was about to be spread tonight. So anyway, they gonna go ahead and find their way home. So Fatima had already told Zach that she was on her way to the house, and now she's at the house. And so she looking very frazzled, hair all over the place and all of that. He was looking like, what happened to you? She was like, don't worry about me, I'm good. They hugged him and all this other stuff. So she wanted to know, what did he get locked up for? And then he gives her the paperwork showing that somebody is saying that a child is his. And so at this point, he's like, look, this heifer that came out of nowhere, I'm pretty sure that this is somebody who is just saying this is my child because they heard I got money. And Fatima had to read him and was like, you was out here thotting and bopping, sir. Like, we're not finna act like before you met me, you wasn't out here. You was for the streets. You were community peen. We're not gonna act like you weren't out here. And so he was like, yeah, you right. Because you probably don't even remember half the heifers you was slanging it to. So you just gotta stop. But she's not even bothered by this. Like, the child, I think, would be 3 years old right now or something like that. And all of that. But at the same time, she's not even bothered by that. He was like, well, what's wrong then? Like, of course he's being remorseful and all of this. He was like, I didn't know. And she was like, I ain't mad about that. She had to tell him that she'd have set it off because she thought that he was trying him again and all of this. And tell me why. He was like, why are you always doing the most? I said, no, not saying why you always doing the most. You always doing the most, Fatima. But I love you because you crazy. I was dying laughing this entire episode. I cannot. So he over here trying to figure out what is going on. Like, really, heifer, what have you gotten into? Because he done pulled a whole shard of glass out of this heifer's hair. She was like, oh, yeah, so that's evidence. And proceeded to put it in her pocket. He said, what are you doing? And she was like, I got to get rid of the evidence. So she'd have put it in her pocket. And he told her as she was leaving, because at first he wanted her to, stay because he is almost done with the renovations and all the little stuff he wanted to get done so that the house can be ready for them to live together, because she has said, yes, I will move in with you. We will be able to share this place together. I am here for that because I trust you. I want to be with you. And, she's deciding that she is going to trust that this relationship is going to work and it will be her last relationship. And, because it's so dusting in there and all of that, she was like, it sounds tempting. I would love to, shower here, but it's just too much dust and stuff in here. I'm just going to go home. And so maybe tomorrow, if he's able to get a few more people to come over to help, she'll be able to move in the following day. So anyway, we end up seeing Q asleep on the couch at Maurice's house, his apartment. This man woke up out of his sleep and basically tiptoed into this man's bedroom. And I'm just like, you barely were able to get inside of this door. Had it not been for Calvin, the person from whom you have stolen, you broke into this house. Don't nobody feel safe around you like that. Like, come on now. Out of all the stuff you've done, the fact that you've done all this stuff, and he was like, man, and had to convince this other person who actually somewhat knew you, not just because y'all slept together or whatever, had to convince him to allow you to stay the night. You still gonna try it. So you gonna tiptoe in this man's room and talk about, oh, well, I don't like to be alone, and I don't want to be alone, and I just want to hold you. And it took everything in Maurice. It took everything in him not to, succumb to all of that, because that man apparently is very talented in his homosexual skills. It's some very talented homosexuals out here, and that's why there is a constant rise of homosexuality out here. Anyway, but yeah, he was over here, even though he was telling him the truth. I'm glad that Maurice was not listening to him, because he was about to spread something too. He was about to open some things and spread some things as well for this man. And, he was like, oh, you're just such a nice person. You're just so kind to me. I've never had anybody talk to me like this. Okay, that's great. Bravo, all of that, honey. Don't nobody care. You still trash out here. You tried it. You ain't have to pull no gun on this man. Like, there was no reason for that. Like, you did the absolute most. You done traumatized this man and some more. Like, he already had triggers that have happened from his daddy and all the stuff that happened to him when he was growing up, and here you go adding to it. Don't nobody have time. But anyway, he had to tell that man, get out my room, and while you at it, before the sun come up, you need to find you somewhere else to stay, because you won't be staying here. So anyway, yeah, he doing the most. He had to read him, but then after it was over with, he was like, oh Lord, I need to strain. I think I need to take another cold shower. I was like, y'all don't understand. This man has had me hollering to the point where I said Brandon, if you don't stop. I think that's his real name in real life. His name is Brandon. I kept saying Brandon, if you don't stop. This man had me crying. I was like, what is wrong with him? So anyway, we see Karen go to the shop and she looking like, okay, Pam, what are you doing here so early? And so she was like, what? I just wanted to set up and I just, wanted to do what I'm doing my job. She was like, no, heifer, I know you. So you could cut the lies. And eventually she was like, well, I mean, some things went down and I was trying to see what it was hidden for. Because at first she thought it was because somehow she found out that Aaron was going to pick her up and take her to her doctor's appointment to see how far along she is so that she can determine who the father of her child is. She was like, well, I didn't know that, but I know now, but that's not why I'm here. And eventually she was like, yeah, let me cut this out. I'm here because that woman who has been fishing around here trying to figure out what was going on with Zach, she picked him up. He has been arrested. So she in her feelings and she's like, what? What you mean he got arrested? And so she was like, oh, okay, so you didn't know? Well, so he didn't call you to bail him out. And I'm saying to myself, why would he call her? Why would he call her? Why? And even before he came into this money and he had been arrested, did he call her then? No. Like, y'all kill me. He has money now. I mean, if anybody, I would be calling a lawyer, Fatima. I would call your friend, your best friend, Andy, before I would call you. Girl, I would call everybody in the crew before I would call you. I wouldn't call you. I would stay in there. Like, girl, bye. So anyway, so yeah, that's what happened with that situation. Aaron ended up showing up and Pam was trying to be nosy. So she sent her to the back to do some work and she told her heifer, go ahead and do some work because I know what you're trying to do. Aaron was like, it's no problem. I'm here with you. Basically was like, no matter what the outcome is, I'm here with you. I'm riding with you. And she over here thanking him for taking him to the appointment. So then we see Andy calling Danny. And I was like, what's she calling her for? Because, I mean, she does need to work on talking to everybody instead of just having it where it's just her and Karen. They having these deep, dark secrets and then stuff got to blow out of proportion before the lesser of the girl group gets to find out the information. I'm sorry, that's the way I see it. And I've seen that happen in real life and I don't like that. And it's like, y'all ain't got to be like that. Like, it ain't that serious. But anyway, so she called her and she had taken a screenshot. And it is El Fuego promoting this business. It's electrical or something, some kind of contracted service. And so she was like, I'm sending you something. So she was like, what is it, girl? So she was like, yeah, that's El Fuego. So then she explains to her that, when they were in college together, he got a degree in computer science or something like that. So it might be legit, but it doesn't explain why he out here shaking his behind. Like, what if you got all this going on? Why would you be out here doing that? What is really going on here? And so she was like, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a meet with him. Like, she really wants to get his services because at this point she was like, Danny just straight up asked her, do you think that Gary is really spying on you? She was like, I don't know, but I'm about to find out. So she just set up services for after she get off work for El Fuego to show up. And, ultimately he going to check out her house and see what's going on because he doing the most. But in the meantime, in between time, the rest of the ladies, not including, what is the heifer's name? Karen, they're going to meet up with Andy for lunch so that they can talk about Karen because Karen is not all right. Well, not long after that, did we get to that part yet? Not yet. So anyway, morning is here. It's morning. And Q has slept the night away. Let me stop, y'all. I don't know why I be trying to act like I can do something when I can't. So anyway, everybody is up and ready for work and whatever they're going to do except for Q. He is sleeping like a baby on the couch. Y'all said Brandon. Maurice, they came out of the room ready for work. And Calvin is just sitting up at the little bar area with a cup of coffee, tea, or something in his hand, just looking like he's just literally drinking and just looking at this man sleep on the couch. Maurice politely went over to the kitchen and got hands and banged them together and told him to get up and kept telling him to get up. And he was so loud that Calvin told him, "You gonna wake up the whole building and not just him." And he was like, "I don't care. You finna get up out this house." And of course he gonna wake up talking about, "Oh, well, I have nowhere else to stay. And I told the folks I would be here from this time to this time every day. This is the address I have down. And let me just stay on the porch." And he was just like, "No, I don't care. You're not gonna be staying here. You can get out." So it's crazy. Anyway, when he got out the house, eventually he got on out the house, and he told Calvin what happened, told him he came in his room, and he gonna say, "I wish you would have came in my room." And he was like, "Yeah, I guess you're trying to be convincing." I was like, he was like, you would want him to be in a room with you. Anyway, it was doing the most with that part. So then we go back to Sabrina, still in the bed at the house, when she gets a knock on the door from Sabrina. Sabrina done rolled up and came inside and just went on ahead and opened the door because she has a key. And she was just like, "Look, I just wanted to come to you and talk to you and tell you about what happened last night. You were wrong and you were right." So she ended up giving old boy a chance, as we talked about earlier. She enjoyed herself. And of course, Danny wants to know if she gave it up. And she was like, "No, I didn't. But I just wanted to tell you what it was hidden for and that I enjoyed myself." I just want to say, I don't understand. It's like when Sabrina can do just enough, she do the most with what she be having on. And sometimes what she do to her hair. I don't know. And I understand this is a show, and I feel like they're doing this on purpose, but it's like, it could really be so cute. Them boots was doing the most. And even though that dress was one solid color, the dress was doing the most. Because at first I was like, okay, if she turned around and I see that this is somewhat of like a trench coat or something that could be opened up, and then we see something else under it that's not doing the most, and it's very minimalistic, then it will work with them boots. Them boots doing the most. And it don't make no sense for her to wear them with what she had on, which was long as well. You got thigh-high boots or knee boots, and you got okay, who am I? I'm not a fashionista. I'm not into, I can't dress. But anybody else understand what I'm saying? Or do y'all think that I don't know what I'm talking about and she was killing it with this? Okay, sorry. I just had to bring that up because I was just like, why? That was the first thing I was like, because I was like, wait a minute. Let me wait till she get closer to this in this scene before I say something, because maybe I'm wrong. But no, anyway, moving right along. So it's the next day, as I've already stated, and we end up seeing Zach. And y'all, I be wanting to say this man name, Preston, his real name. And he had rolled up. And he has some stuff going on. He is, he has some final touches he needs to do to the house. And so, of course, he was like, "Do you need me to help do some stuff?" He was like, "Yeah, of course I do." And so, of course, he has gotten his information from Zach as to how he needs to handle Danny. And all of this stuff has been simply him trying to make Danny jealous in an effort for her to say, "Hey, you know what? This is a good dude. She gonna see how good of a dude I am. Even though she mad, she gonna come around and whatever." And so Zach had to explain to him, like, "Sir, that's the point. She gonna be mad, but, she gonna see what it is." But in his mind, he was like, "I don't want to hurt these women. They are really nice women, whatever, and all of that. Because I want Danny. I don't want none of these heifers over here." Anyway, that guy came around who works for Gary. I don't know why I can't think of his name. But anyway, he came by because they had already talked the night prior, and he didn't forget that he was supposed to go over some stuff with him because the people might be after him, because this could be something that is flagged. And it's like, okay, wait a minute, sir, you ain't never had nothing before, and now you got all of this, and let's look into you, because how you hit this out of nowhere? Like, what is going on? And so he was like, "Man, we just talked about this." He had forgotten. He was like, "Man, I'm sorry, I forgot. I was up all night. I ain't had no sleep." And of course, he knew that this man had been in jail as well, so it just is what it is. So he was like, "Do you want to do it now? Do you want to do it later? Because we got all this information and charts and stuff we got to go over." And he thought about it. He was like, "Let me just do it now because there's a lot going on." So he's going over that with him. And, he just needs to be on the safe side of it. So it is what it is. So they're going to get started on that. Well, next day at work, Fatima rolled in, and right behind her is Hayden. And so, you know, he done rolled up and was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? You did me a favor because I got you on camera destroying my house. And so she was like, and you want a cookie? And he was like, yeah, actually I do. And like I said, you did me a favor. He had 2 police officers to come in there, and she was like, "Oh, this is what you're doing. Okay, then." So is this supposed to scare her? Like at this point, like Fatima don't care. So anyway, it just got to a point where she went back and forth with him. Was like, "Okay, you know what? Okay, they here for me, cool." And she politely walked over to them, gave one of them her purse, and turned around to the other one and politely let them go ahead and put them bracelets on her. And she walked out the door. I was like, no, Fatima, no. Oh, I can't stand Hayden. I can't stand him. But anyway, I can't wait till the next episode. Y'all let me know if y'all enjoyed this recap review of Tyler Perry's Sistas. I'll be back with quite a few other things, including 61st Street, the weekend shows that come on that I normally do recap reviews on. And I'm going to do a thoughts post because I never got a chance to do my After the Verses video and to discuss the other things going on. But anyway, y'all subscribe to my channel, thumbs up this video, and let's talk about it down in the comments.